See ya.
Come on, bye. Say
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome everybody to class. If you'd like to come to a comfortable seated position, sitting right up on your tailbone, lengthen through the spine, and drop the shoulders nice and low. Tuck the chin slightly, and gently close over the eyes. Have your hands in your lap, or if you'd like to, you can bring your right hand to the chest and your left hand to your belly. Just taking a deep breath in, fully expanding through the lungs, rib cage, chest, and then exhaling, fully expending all of the air from your lungs. And then continue with slow, deep breaths. Starting to settle your mind. Inviting a sense of calmness into your day, into your body. Start to tune in into how your body's feeling right now. Just noticing where you're feeling any points of tension in the body. Just observing your own body temperature, if you're feeling warm or cold. And just how you're feeling overall today. Feeling calm or agitated, tired, whatever you're feeling is absolutely fine. One more deep breath in and out. Gently opening the eyes and relaxing the hands into the lap. So what we will need for today's class is at least one tennis ball, if not two. If you don't have a tennis ball, then even some of those smaller little massage balls or high bounce balls are fine too. Spiky balls are good as well. So whatever you've got available to you at home would be good to have. And also just a pillow or a like a throw cushion size is fine as well, if not a block or a book covered in a blanket, just something that you can use to soften when we're bending or prop yourself up. So if you haven't already got those things, grab them now. If not, let's begin. So we'll just start with just some gentle warm-ups. So just bringing your hands into your lap and bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. And the left ear over to the left shoulder. And back to center. Just dropping the chin towards the chest. Lengthening through the back of the neck. Just observing any tightness that may be there. And then lifting the head, drawing the chin up towards the ceiling. Lengthening through the throat, compressing through the back of the neck. And back to center. Extend your right arm out to the side, palm comes to the mat, and extend the left arm up and overhead, reaching over towards the right side. Looking up towards the right elbow if you can. Just coming into a gentle side stretch here. Inhale, the arms back through center, and exhale as we drop the left palm to the mat. Stand the right arm up, overhead, and looking up towards that right elbow. Inhale as we windmill the arms back across, and then bring the right forearm to the mat if you can reach. If not, coming back into that palm up position. Forearm comes to the mat, and again, breathing the arm up and over. This time, if you can, just allow the forearm to drop onto the head so the arm is more passive. You'll still get a really deep stretch through the sides of the body. Breathing in as we come back through center. Again, windmill the arms over, left forearm to the mat. Breathe the top arm up and over, and then resting on top of your head. Back to center. Just release that now. Shrug through the shoulders, roll them up and backwards and down. Just coming into a tabletop position to start with. So hands under shoulders and knees under hips. Fingers press firmly into the mat. I'm going to sway through the back so the tailbone comes up high, looking forwards, navel towards the mat. Transitioning through a flat back as we come up into cat position, drawing the navel up towards the spine, tucking the chin into the chest. Push the hands into the mat. Transition back through neutral spine, coming into your cow pose. Inhale as we come through center, exhale up into cat. And one more round of cat-cow here. And arching to cat. Coming back to a neutral spine here, we're just going to stretch through the wrists a little just to warm them up. So I just want you to flip, if you can, flip over to the top of your hand. And if you can, just press that into the mat. If it's too strong for your wrist, then just avoid this one. Bring that one back to the mat, and then flipping the opposite hand. Top of the hand comes to the mat. You can see. Two more times on each side. Changing sides. Last round. And change. And back to both hands against the mat. going to come back to sit on your heels, but we're coming to a toe stretch, so I'll just turn to the side. What we're going to do is just coming up onto the toes and then putting our weight back into towards our heels. Now, for some people it can be extremely painful to be in this flexion or compression of the toes, so if you feel like it's way too strong, you can either just come forward. You may just find enough of a stretch in more of a forward motion where the gravity is against the mat. But if you can tolerate it, just start to transition your body weight further back. If you can, we're not going to stay here for too long. You can bring your hands into prayer against your heart. And just take 5 breaths here. Two more breaths. Coming out of this pose now, just transfer your weight forward to the mat, untuck those toes, and just sit back on your heels for a moment and just feeling the sensation in the toe joints. Now you may feel a little bit of warmth or tingling sensation. Just feeling those feelings. You may even feel a little bit of warmth coming up into the calves as well. And then from here, we're also going to stretch through into the ankle joints. So if you're able to, we're going to lift our knees up off the ground. So just holding on with your fingers for balance as we lift the knees off the ground. So we're stressing into the foot joint here. Again, if it's too strong for your ankles or you have any ankle injuries, then maybe avoid this one. Do another of your favorite poses instead. You can also do it by having your hands back and just lifting the knees that way too, whatever feels more comfortable for you. And we're just taking a couple of more breaths here. Transition your weight back forwards, slowly coming out of this movement. Coming back onto all fours for a moment, swivel your hips onto the side and then bring your legs in front. Just bring your legs out to the side and again, just noticing any sensations that you're feeling in the front of your feet, your ankles. Maybe just give them a little roll out from side to side, flex and point through the feet. Shake. So today we're focusing on myofascial release, which is working really deeply into the connective tissues, the fascia, all of the muscles of our body, and so we'll sort of work slowly throughout parts of the body. And we'll start with the feet. The feet do hold a lot of tension that we don't realise. I guess they are holding a lot of our body weight for a lot of the day. And so we're going to start with, we just need one tennis ball or any light spiky ball is fine too for this particular one. And we're just going to roll our feet out. So just bringing the tennis ball to the mat and then bring the arch of the foot over the top of the tennis ball. With these movements, you can either be really active in moving the ball around a lot. You can use a lot of pressure into it if you feel like you can tolerate that sort of stress into the muscles. You could go really lightly. And also if you do find a particular point of tension, you're most welcome to just hold on to that particular position and just allow the body to relax into that tension. So just working your way around the foot, ensuring you're also doing the outer edges of the foot, right into the arch. Right into the base of the heel as well. And then up into the toes as well, so allow the toes to separate a little. Can often be tension in that big toe joint, so that can be a nice one to have a little roll around. Let's change over to the opposite foot now. There's energy channels in the body that start at the base of the feet, go right up under up the back of the calf, and then along the tops of the legs, right up the spine, and then up over the top of the head towards the corner of the eye. So we'll be working on those sort of energy channels today. They can often get blocked, and these will be these positions and poses we'll be doing today will be helping to unblock those particular channels. So once you feel like you've done both feet equally, then we'll move on to the calf muscles. So you can just bring the ball underneath, so say the base of the calf muscle, and just sort of rolling along there. If you feel it can be helpful, if you have a block, you can prop, or a book, you can prop the tennis ball on top of a block, just have a little bit more height to make your movements. Otherwise, you can use your body to roll around on that calf muscle. So again, just gliding the ball over the calf muscle. If you find any points of tension that you want to work on, just stop and allow the ball to really sink into that fascia. You may find that you can even really just lay into it, or even for extra stress, I guess, you can put the body weight of the top leg on top as well. So if you're really wanting to work deep into the tissues, then the extra gravity will help with that as well. But if it's too much, don't feel like you need to make any sort of huge efforts to make it as hard as possible, because that's not the point of this practice. It's about doing what's right for your body, what feels right. There's absolutely no medals for achievement in yoga. So do your own thing, whatever feels right for you. Okay, hopefully that one's feeling a bit better now, so we'll move on to the opposite side. Starting at the base of the calf, having a little roll around and seeing what is there for you today. Often one side will feel different to the other. You may find a particular knot in one leg that's not in the other. And often that can be because we don't walk in perfect symmetry, so your body may carry more on one side than the other, which may affect your gait, and even your feet as well can affect the rest of your muscles. Working our way a little bit higher up into the calf. just bringing the ball over, just put it over to the side. And we'll just come forward now, so you might just come this way. Is just extend your legs forward, sitting right up onto your sitting bones. Imagine your spine lifting up even higher, as if something is pulling from the crown of your head down to the base of your spine. Extending through the chest as you lean forward, just reaching towards your calves, your ankles or your feet. Extending the chest forward. If you need to have a soft bend in your knees to release tension through the hamstrings or the calves, you can do that. We're just staying here for a few breaths. Rolling back up slowly. Taking your pillow now, so if you've got a pillow or block or throw cushion, just want you to sit on top of that and then sit back down again. So your legs will go back down onto the mat and it's just your bum that's sitting on top of the cushion or the block. And you will find that that sort of tilts the pelvis enough that it may make it easier for you now to fold forward. So again, extending through the spine, extend the chest forward as we lean. So just test that out now and see if that makes any difference into your forward fold. Just allow the head to soften. Gently rolling back up. I'm going to come into half saddle. In this position, it is an internal rotation of the knees. So if you have some knee injuries, you may need to proceed with caution or avoid this one altogether. Just see how it feels for you. And if it doesn't feel right, then maybe you might be better in an external rotation position. And you could just come back into another forward fold here or any other yoga position where you're going to be with your knees wide rather than knees internally rotated. If you'd like to give saddle a try, so we're still on our cushion. You may even like to have a second cushion underneath if you want a bit of extra height. The objective is to have the knee against the mat, so try not to do anything where you're going to be lifting that knee up. Foot comfortably out to the side. It doesn't matter whether it needs to be like right close in or whether it's more comfortable to be out to the side, whatever feels right for your body. And from here, if you can, I'd like you to I might just swivel around a little bit to the side, is just lean back and see if you can feel a nice big stretch through the quadricep and also up into the hip flexor. So for some people, just being like this may be enough to feel that stretch. It may feel quite intense already just here. If you can, lean right back into it. If you're still not really feeling anything here, you can come back onto the forearms as well. So again, we're going to try not to let the knee lift too much. So just be conscious of if you're coming back here and all of a sudden your knee's up like that, you're not really going to feel the stretch properly. So just finding what the right stretch is for you and then settling into that. Just observing those sensations. If you are feeling any burning sensations or any really nervy pain, you need to get out of the pose and come back into something more comfortable. You should never feel that sort of intense pain in yoga. Will not serve you any purpose to continue. So always make sure that you avoid that sort of sensation. We're looking for good sensations where it will feel like it's working and it's doing something, but it's not hurtful. So please be careful in that respect. But if you have found the right spot and you're really feeling it through the quadricep and up into the hips, then just breathe through it. Notice that as your mind relaxes, your body will relax over time. This is one of the more intense poses, so we'll just stay here for a couple more breaths. Coming out of this pose, it may be helpful just to roll over onto the opposite side slightly as you come back up. Gently use your hand to flip that leg back around. And it may be nice just to lay down from here, so just lift your pillow away and just lay down on your mat. Allow the feet to roll outwards. And just take note of how that leg is feeling at the moment. Three more deep breaths in and out here. And coming back up to sitting, so you may just like to bring the soles of the feet to the floor and roll yourself back upright. Find your cushion again, and we'll do the opposite side. So just coming up onto your cushion, extend the, if you're doing the same as me, I have my right leg out and internally rotate the left knee in. Find a comfortable position for the knee and the foot first. Just testing that out to make sure that's okay. And then start to lean backwards if you can. Getting a little bit more weight and stretch into that hamstring. If you can, coming back onto the forearms. If you're finding that even this position is not enough stretch or feeling for your leg, the full expression of the pose is to lay on your back against the mat. So you can test that one out as well, only if you feel like you're not feeling the sensations in any of the other poses that I've shown you so far. Checking in on your face, make sure you're not clenching your jaw. And just scanning the rest of the body to make sure you're not holding any tension in the opposite leg. Try to relax the glute on the left leg. You want to be feeling all the sensations through the front of the body. 2 more breaths here. Start to transfer your weight forward. Use your hands to guide that leg back straight. It's rolling off your cushion and laying back down on your mat. Extend both legs long. Feet roll outwards. Palms facing up. Notice how those hip flexors are feeling now, your quadriceps. Noticing any flushing sensations through the front parts of the body, that's quite normal. We'll come into crescent moon from here. So if we can extend the arms long behind your body against the mat. We're going to walk our feet over to the left corner of your mat and then slide the arms over to the left side as well. So you're creating a crescent shape with your body. Your glutes stay firmly against the mat where they started. You can hook the right leg over the top of the left and hold the left wrist with the right hand. Focus on breathing through the right side of the rib cage, the right lungs, fully expanding their capacity and fully expelling all the air on the exhale. Walk the feet back to the center of your mat. Slide the hands back to the center of your mat. And just extend through the left arm and push and point through the right ankle. And then release. Extend through the right arm and point and flex through the left foot. And release. Sliding both legs over to the right side now. Slide the arms over to the right side. Hook the left leg over the top of the right ankle and holding on to the left wrist with the right hand. Crescent moon. Focusing on expansion of the left rib cage. And it's fully expanding the lungs on the exhale. Slide the legs back to center. Bring the arms back to center. And then just bring the arms alongside the body. Bring the soles of the feet towards the glutes and knees pointing up towards the ceiling. And come into a quad stretch here. So you can bring the right heel to the left knee, rotate that knee out gently. Gently push with the right hand, open through the hip. Release that now, interlace the fingers behind the thigh or on top of the left shin, drawing both legs towards the chest. Another nice stretch in the same pose, but just using a cushion underneath your hips in this pose. Just allows your knees to come a little bit closer to the chest. So you can try that one out at home too if you like. Let's change sides now. So bring the right foot to the floor, left heel to the right knee. Gently press open the hip by pressing on the left knee gently. Release that now. Float the right foot off the mat. Interlace the fingers behind that thigh or on top of the shin, drawing both knees towards the chest. Coming back out of this pose now, so just bringing the foot back to the floor. If you do have the cushion under your hips, just lift the hips up and slide that cushion away. Just coming into a twist for a moment, just going to hug the knees into the chest. Bring the arms out to the side, or you can cactus the arms, and then slowly move the hips over to the right side. If you can't reach the mat, then put some cushions underneath. You can look over to the same side, or you can look away towards the left elbow. Looking back up towards the ceiling, bring the legs back into the center. Take the pillow with you if you need. Coming over to the opposite side. Swivel your hips around. Head can come over to the right side if that feels okay for your neck. Three breaths here. Engage through the core as we bring the knees back to center and the feet back to the floor. Just going to come up to sitting, and we're going to take the tennis balls. Now, if you do have two tennis balls, we'll use two. If not, you can obviously just use one, work on one side and then swap over to the other side. So from here we're going to work on the glutes, so gluteus maximus, which is the fleshiest part of our glute muscles. So what we will do is position them and bring your glutes up onto the balls. Again, you may like to be quite static and just sit on top of the balls literally and just hold here and breathe. You may like to roll just by rolling backwards and forward, rocking your hips forwards and backwards, side to side. Make circular motions, whatever feels good for you. Whenever you find a particular sore point, perhaps just pause. Allow the body time to soften. Again, any sharp pain you need to back away from. If it feels good, you can feel that that tension is melting away, then just give it that time. Once you find that it turns in just like a dull sensation, that's when you know that it's worked and it's time to move on to the next position. There's no point in overstaying in particular positions in fascial release. Once it's released, it's released. So keep on moving to another spot if you find that it is has released for you. If you'd like more of an intense stretch, you may also like to just bring that leg up like we did before in that quad stretch. Particularly if you're just working with one ball on one side. So for me, if I've got it under my right glute, if I stack my left knee up onto the right leg, it will just give a bit of extra gravitational force on top. So it's not for the faint-hearted. If it's too intense, don't do it. It's just another option. And also you may just find that it's better if you don't have the strength in your arms, or if you'd like to try, you can just lay back down onto it as well. So you can just lay on your back and find similar positions, either with your legs extended long or keeping your knees bent and just rolling around here as well. So we'll stay here for a few minutes. If you have only worked on one side so far with one ball, then swap over to the opposite side now. If you've got two balls, then just keep rolling, finding different spots. You want to avoid getting onto any bone, so any area near your tailbone or into the sitting bones will be extremely painful if you're rolling onto bone. So just try and stay into the fleshy parts as much as possible. Okay, just finishing up here with the glutes. Once you're done, just lift your hips to remove the tennis balls out to the side. Just allow your hips to go back down to the mat. Extend your legs long. Again, just allow the feet to roll outwards, the legs to roll outwards, palms facing up, and just enjoy that rebound feeling. The glutes can be quite an intense area to do myofascial release on, so the rebound is so good. you're enjoying the rebound here. Just going to come into a cross-legged position with your legs. So either just cross legs or soles of the feet together, whichever is more comfortable for you. And then just bring your arms behind your head. If you can, reaching for opposite elbows, or even just holding onto your hands behind your head. Just opening through the chest and through the hips. Release any tension you're still holding in your glutes. You need to put some blocks or cushions under your knees if it's really pulling into the groin. You can do that, just prop up your knees a little bit so you can be more comfortable. Otherwise, just taking a few more breaths here. Noticing the gentle rise and fall of your belly. And from here, just using your hands to guide your knees back together, and just raising the feet up in the air to sit back upright. Again, just using your tennis balls, we're going to work into the shoulders now, and we want to particularly work on the area between the shoulder blade and the spine, so sort of in this area here. So not on the spine and not on the shoulder blade. We want to be more in that central area. We're going to work our way, either work from top to bottom. We don't want to go up into the neck so much, so sort of starting more from about that position down here. So there's two ways. You can either do it against a wall. So if you have a spare wall, you can just stand against the wall with the ball behind you, or even a block with the ball in front, and just basically gliding yourself up and down or around with the ball behind you. The wall is definitely the less intense option. So if you do have sore shoulders, perhaps that is the best way to go. You can also put like 2 tennis balls inside a sock and roll that around. That sort of helps to not have the ball, sort of falling or rolling around. So ball in a sock behind your back against the wall is a really nice option. Otherwise, if you want to use the floor, you can do that. So just sort of setting up your balls and laying back down onto them. Oops. So if you can, just bring your head back to the mat. If you need to, you can put your cushion underneath or a block that may be more comfortable for your head if you don't like having your head inverted. And once again, you can either be quite static, just laying here. You can even experiment with perhaps bringing the arms up and down, or just leaving them up. Maybe further arms out to the side, or alongside the body, palms facing up. You can make it more of an active movement if you want to sort of roll into it a bit by lifting up the hips, finding different points. You may like to sort of angle the hips if you find a certain point where you'd like to really dig into, maybe lifting up the alternate hip, give you a bit more depth. Again, just making sure you're not on the bone of your spine, need to be in the fleshy parts. Just working your way up and down. Supporting yourself however you need to. And then giving your body time to release. Just readjusting again. If it's too much using two at once, just go with one, work on one side and then work on the other side later. As you do come down lower, you do come down into the area where the adrenals are and the kidneys. So just being a little bit careful in this area, not to go too intensely. But our kidneys and our adrenals are our sort of stress management team. So it is a good area to be working on in stressful times. Just a couple more breaths here. If you haven't done any particular areas, just finish them off now. And then just rolling over onto the side that's facing the camera. We're going to also just work on the ITB band. So you just need one ball for this particular one. Now, some people have really tight ITB or even injuries in that area. I did find this at Big W the other day, which is like $5, and it's really good just if you can't really tolerate a lot of stress or myofascial release in that area. Something like this is really good just for rolling out without too much pressure. But if you can tolerate a little bit more, then tennis ball or spiky ball. Obviously tennis ball is a bit softer than spiky ball. I'm going to lift up onto the outer thigh and roll onto this area. So we're sort of working right around that outer thigh. The ITB is responsible for extension and external rotation of the hip, also just for adducting the leg, and also has a bit of an important role with the strength of the knee. So it's a good area to work on. It's often quite intense. Now again, you may find a spot where you can just lay down. If you can tolerate it, bringing that second leg on top will give extra force and stress to this area. let's change to the opposite leg. Give that outer thigh a nice roll out. If you can, lay down into a particular spot. Let your head go heavy. And putting as much body weight into it as you can tolerate, as that feels good. And just allowing time for the release. And coming back up. Okay, from here we're just going to come into pigeon pose because that's most people's favourite position in yoga. So just coming up onto hands and knees. You can work with the right leg first. So drawing the right knee up towards the right hand. Position your foot so that it's comfortable. Extend the left leg long behind. Focus on the diagonal. Settle your body. Use props if you need to on that right hip. If you're really keen, you could actually use a tennis ball under that right hip for a little bit of extra myofascial release through the glutes or even the ITP, depending on how you're sitting. Once you've found your pose, coming forward onto the forearms. Remember to breathe. And then coming all the way forward if you can. Resting the forehead on the forearms. You can stack your fists together if you can't reach, or you can bring a block in front for your head as well. Allow the body to settle. Just checking back in with how you're feeling, whether you need to, if you've overcommitted and you need to back off a little, or if you can have the opportunity now to go a little bit deeper into your stretch, you can do that now. Lifting your head, preparing to come out of pigeon pose. Slowly walk the hands back towards the shoulders and press yourself upright. Hold here for a moment. Using strength in your arms, press that leg back to meet the left. Widen the knees, toes together, reaching back into child's pose. Extended arms forward, one ear to the mat, if it can reach, forehead to the mat. Allow the body to rebound here. Looking forward, pressing back up to tabletop, neutral spine. Going to bring the left knee up towards the left hand. Position the foot comfortably, extend the right leg long behind. Settle the hips. Walk onto the forearms. Just a wriggle through the hips just to make sure you've got exactly the right stretch. Settle in and then coming all the way forward. Scanning the body for any tension you may be holding in that back leg, just let that go. The option to either back off or go deeper for the last few breaths in this pose. Walking the hands back, pressing up really slowly, take your time. Pressure through the hands, send the leg back long to meet the right, lay down on your stomach and bring the hands by your side, just resting on one ear. Let your shoulders go heavy towards the mat. Completely rest. Using the hands near the face, just rolling over onto your back now for Shavasana. Just laying down on your back, legs extended long, palms facing up towards the sky. Close over the eyes. Allow your body to go heavy. Allow your bones to be heavy. Notice the points where your body meets the mat. Notice the points where your clothes touch your body. And where the air touches your skin. It's observing your body temperature now. The rate of your breath. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out through your mouth. No need to control the breath any longer, just allow it to flow in its natural pace. Allow your body to sink further into the mat below you. Face soft. Soften the jaw. Separate the space between the teeth. Release the tongue from the top of the mouth. Shoulders and arms heavy. Spine long. Hips and legs heavy. Fingers and toes light. Whole body at rest. Bringing your thoughts back to this room. Just gently blinking open the eyes. Allow the arms to stretch overhead. Point and flex through the toes. Just wriggle your hips from side to side. Wriggle the fingertips and the toes. And then curling up onto one side when you're ready. Gently push up to a seated position facing me when you're ready. Taking your time. When you're ready, just bring the hands to the heart center. Gently bowing the head in gratitude for your practice today. Feeling rolled out, released and rested. Namaste. Thank you everyone. See you next time.